The protagonist, Song Rui, and Jin Ying sat side by side in front of the laptop, their eyes fixed intently on the screen. Each of them wore a heavy expression, as though they could all sense that the information before them was anything but ordinary. Jin Ying broke the silence. She explained that she had just received partial data from a hard drive and had immediately forwarded everything she managed to extract. On the screen, a mysterious interface appeared, clear evidence that these were not just ordinary files. As she continued speaking, the display on the monitor suddenly changed. An image of a woman appeared, seemingly inside a facility, dressed in white, surrounded by a cold blue glow. The moment the protagonist saw it, he cried out in shock. He instantly recognized the woman on the screen. It was none other than Xiao Shui, his younger sister. From behind them, Captain Tang spoke up. His voice carried weight as he asked whether they had found any direct evidence linking this to the mysterious incident. In response, Jin Ying's fingers moved swiftly across the keyboard. A system prompt appeared, followed by folders opening one after another on the screen. Images surfaced one by one, creatures with monstrous forms, sharp fangs, and blazing red eyes. As he examined them, Captain Tang rested a hand on his chin, carefully analyzing and identifying the beings shown in the files. At that moment, the protagonist realized that the data stored on the hard drive contained classified information related to the military, and more importantly, Xiao Shui's name appeared repeatedly within it. Because of this, he decided that for now, the contents could not be shown to Tang Yi. The protagonist explained that the hard drive was the only concrete piece of evidence they had obtained so far, and that even now, they had no idea who had truly conducted the research. While Song Rui continued staring at the laptop, he spoke, saying that the condition of these beastmen might be useful to his father's research. Yet in his thoughts, he could not ignore how closely it resembled the state his uncle had once been in. If they could obtain more data, there might still be hope of restoring his uncle to sanity. Suddenly, Captain Tang pointed at a file on the screen and asked what it contained. Jin Ying replied that she had not opened it yet. When they finally accessed it, an image appeared, showing a massive monster hidden within a rocky area, facing a small human figure. Its sheer size and oppressive presence were enough to inspire dread. Upon seeing this, the protagonist immediately asked why Xiao Shui was with the aberration. Concern was clearly written on Captain Tang's face. He instantly recognized the creature in the image as a behemoth-class aberration. Almost shouting, he asked whether that was the location. If the creature was still alive, it would be a full-scale disaster for the entire region. In his alarm, he asked when the photo had been taken. Jin Ying answered that according to the file information, it had been captured 3 months earlier. By analyzing the direction of sunlight and the shadows in the image, Captain Tang determined a possible location. He stated that it was most likely in the West Side Valley. Immediately, he ordered that he would personally lead a squad to investigate the area, and strictly instructed Jin Ying to inform him at once if they discovered anything further. After Captain Tang left, the protagonist urgently told Jin Ying to open Xiao Shui's file immediately. On the screen appeared a status interface displaying 3 primary indicators: strength, constitution, and spirit, all far beyond the normal level of an ordinary human. However, one strange detail stood out. The record did not match Xiao Shui's previous medical data. This meant that a major change had occurred in her condition, one that could not be explained through conventional means. At the same time, the name Hong Zhengyan appeared on the screen. Upon seeing the surname Hong, the protagonist immediately recalled a Mr. Hong he had once heard about in Chishi City. As the three discussed the matter, Song Rui said that his father had long wanted to investigate Mr. Hong's connection to the Green Vine Group, but they had never obtained clear results. If Mr. Hong had indeed participated in the experiment involving the protagonist's sister, then there was a strong possibility that Xiao Shui was now in the hands of someone from Green Vine. In the silence that followed, the pieces of the puzzle slowly connected in the protagonist's mind. He decided that he would personally trace the source of the aberration and investigate the location tied to the images they had seen. Before they could move out, Jin Ying said that she would come along. Given how chaotic the situation was, immediate analysis might be necessary. Song Rui also agreed, saying that having more people would be better. When they arrived at a remote, rocky area, they advanced together. The surroundings were eerily quiet, yet a heavy presence could be felt rising from the depths of the valley. Suddenly, someone pointed ahead. Under the moonlight, the massive form of an aberration gradually emerged, lying among the rocks. Its size alone blocked the path, and its thick armor and sharp horns were unmistakable signs of a behemoth-class threat. Captain Tang immediately realized why they had failed to detect it earlier while searching for Song Zhao. It had concealed its form. As they assessed the situation, Jin Ying noted that the creature's appearance matched the images in the data. However, its current condition could not be judged solely based on old information. The group advanced cautiously, but one of Captain Tang's men lightly touched the creature's tooth. In that instant, a system alert flashed on Jin Ying's device as danger indicators surged rapidly. She shouted a warning. Something was wrong, and the creature's response was far more aggressive than expected. In the blink of an eye, the massive beast moved. Its enormous jaws opened, swallowing the man who had touched it as the ground exploded beneath them. Its blazing red eyes locked onto the group. It had only been pretending to sleep. It had been watching them from the very beginning. Captain Tang immediately ordered everyone to spread out and maintain formation, releasing ice crystals in an attempt to restrain it. But the monster suddenly let out a shrill roar and unleashed a violent torrent of flames that erupted across the area, striking one of their companions. Captain Tang tried to re-establish contact with headquarters using his signal device, hoping to request reinforcements as quickly as possible. However, it was clear that they could no longer rely on immediate support. Watching the creature's movements, Song Rui spoke up. He pointed out that the aberration's behavior was strange. It was clearly capable of launching direct attacks, yet instead it was scattering flames across a wide area, as if trying to intimidate them or drive them away from a specific part of the valley. In an instant, Jin Ying charged forward and released a sharp blue energy slash. The energy cut through the air and collided directly with the flames, partially weakening the attack. At the same time, the protagonist stepped forward, his arm engulfed in blazing red energy. His voice rang out clearly as he said that they could no longer wait for headquarters, they had to interrupt the monster's actions with everything they had. Jin Ying responded quickly, telling everyone not to panic. Based on her analysis, the aberration was embedded within the mountain, making it a largely fixed target. Moreover, its vital signs had not fully recovered, meaning they still had a chance to stop it before it completely went berserk. Song Rui agreed. If that was the case, they would face it together. The timing was perfect. This was exactly the moment to test the results of their coordinated training. Jin Ying moved first. She unleashed successive waves of blue energy, striking the monster's body continuously to restrict its movements. Immediately after, Song Rui released his power, firing a massive burst of violet energy that struck the aberration squarely in the chest. At the same moment, the protagonist leapt into the air. As he soared upward, the red energy surrounding his arm burned even brighter. When he reached above the creature's head, he did not hesitate. Pouring all his strength into the attack, he released the red energy directly onto the head of the massive beast. Dust and smoke gradually settled after the combined assault. Everyone froze, staring at the result. Yet instead of collapsing, the monster bore only a shallow scratch on its face. Captain Tang stiffened. Clearly, their strength was nowhere near enough to bring down a behemoth-class aberration. Given the situation, he made a swift decision. He ordered everyone to retreat and flee before the monster completely lost control. But before they could get far, the aberration suddenly let out a thunderous roar. Its eyes glowed a vivid crimson, and in an instant, the entire area shook violently. Rocks split apart and the ground burst open as it slammed down, forcing the group to stagger back, nearly losing their footing. The monster was far from finished. Amid the dust and thick smoke, its colossal form rose once more and charged forward. Each step sent powerful shockwaves through the ground, and the pressure radiating from its body was nearly suffocating. Everyone could feel the weight of the threat. This was no ordinary enemy. In the midst of the intense tension, worry was clearly visible on Song Rui's face. Meanwhile, the protagonist standing beside him remained calm. His stance was steady, his resolve unshaken, clearly prepared to face the next collision, no matter what happened. Ahead of them, the aberration's massive jaws slowly opened. A deafening roar echoed throughout the valley, a thunderous sound that seemed to shake not only the earth, but their very souls. The chapter ends here. Watch out for our upcoming uploads. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you'll always be updated on our future videos.